Hello everybody, welcome back to Herbies Garage. Today I'm trying to help a friend out with his 2008 Honda Goldwing. It's an 1800. Be my first time working on an 1800, so it's going to be kind of fun. But he has a couple of problems with it, and I'm going to try to help him out. One is his rear brake pedal goes all the way down. He doesn't have any brakes, so not on the rear anyway. So I thought I'd go ahead and put some pads on. Got him some nice Honda pads. But I did get down there and take a look at it, and the pads are only down about 50%. So he's got other problems. But we're going to go ahead and replace the pads, and then we're going to check out what other kind of problem that we might have. And if I have to order parts or whatever I need to do, we'll go from there. And there's a couple other things I need to do as well. But let's go ahead and get started. All right, first thing we need to do is get in here and spread these pads. I spread them a little bit earlier, so it shouldn't be too big of a deal to get in here with a screwdriver, and you gotta be gentle doing this. You don't want to tear nothing up, but just kind of spread those pads open, and then we'll take this cap off. It's just a rubber cap, and take the pin out that holds the shoes in. Sometimes some things can get kind of tight. Okay, I gotta kind of hold those pads so they don't just come jumping out at me. Okay, there's the one. And here's the other. As you can see, they're not awful. I'll show you the new ones. They got maybe 50% pad on them. Yeah, these already have these anti-squeal pads on the back of them. I really like that they come with that. But as you can see, this is what it looks like. There's the pad difference. There's not a whole lot of difference there. It's kind of hard to see. There's the difference in the pads. Not a whole lot. These pads have maybe 50% wear, if that. There's still a lot of life left on these, but we're going to go ahead and change them while we're in there. Okay, now I cleaned the pin up really good. I know it's kind of hard to see in the light, and it's hard to see out of the light, but you just want to take a little bit of silicone grease and put on this rubber seal on the end, this little small section. That's all you need, just a little bit on the end. And then we'll take this pad and put it in first, the one closest to us. You got to kind of feel it goes into the slot. There's a holder up there, and once it goes in, slide our pin in like that. And you'll feel it snap in place. I had to move the camera momentarily so I could get my hand and my head in there. It's kind of a tight spot to work, actually. It's not a hard job to do, it's just kind of tight. And the reason you don't want to put that silicone grease all the way down this pin as this pin is exposed, and you'll get dirt and stuff trapped on there, and it'll just cause you more of a problem. These holes are plenty big enough in these pads to where it'll move pretty easily on there. All right, there's tight. And then we'll take our rubber plug, put it back in. All right, once you get your pads put in, come on the left side of the bike. You can see the gear shift right there. I'm on the left side of the bike. And up in here, you'll be able to see the caliper, and you can roll your wheel to where there's an opening so you can see, and you'll have to look in there at those pads and make sure that those pads are seated in there in that notch like they're supposed to be. All right, now we want to look for the real reason why we don't have any brakes. I want to start off clean and fresh with some new pads, but we need to get in here and check and see what's going on. We'll open up the reservoir for the rear brake and see where the fluid's at on it. Yeah, the fluid's all the way up to the top. As you can see. Okay, let's check the brake fluid again where you can see. Yeah, it's bad and needs to be replaced. So with it not having any pedal, I'm suspecting that we got a bad master cylinder, but let's go ahead and try to bleed it. It may just have air in it. Looks like the 1800 here has two bleeder ports. There's one, and there's a second one up here. Not really sure why it's got two, but looks like this one might be for the line. I think we'll try this one first. Try to break it loose. See if anything comes out. I'm holding down on the brake pedal. Tighten it back up. Pump it back up. Hold down. We're not getting any brake fluid out of that port. Pump it up. Hold it. Oh yeah, we got some out of that. Okay, pump it up. Hold it. Yeah, we're getting some out, so that's a good thing. Kind of hard to see. Hopefully you can see that. It says DOT4 fluid right up there. And I like using this. I checked it, and it doesn't have any moisture in it. This is good fluid, DOT4. Super Tech. I use this on all my bikes anymore. And we'll fill it up. And then we'll do some more brake bleeding, and we'll get all this run down and get all that bad old fluid out of it. Okay, so I'm gonna pump it up and hold it. Pump it up. Hold it. Pump it up. Hold it. Pump it up. Hold it. We've ran enough out of there. We've ran a whole bottle through there, so that should have flushed that whole system out. So now we're going to bring it up to the high mark, the upper mark, and we're going to say that's good. Alright, it's right on the upper mark. Got nice clean fluid in there now. Okay, now we're going to change the oil. I got the bike warmed up and I forgot to turn the camera on. I went ahead and took the drain plug out, and that's as far as I've got. I cleaned off some of the dirt around it before I started, and so I didn't really get too much on camera, but I did go ahead and start it. And this is a 17mm drain plug. I'm going to go see what size this crush washer is. I'm going to replace that, and then we're going to change this oil filter. Now the oil filter I broke loose with a wrench. Hopefully I could get the rest of the way by hand. Well, maybe not. Let's see if I can get it the rest of the way with this. Okay. This is a pretty easy motorcycle to do an oil change on. The filter's right here and the drain plug's right next to it, so it's a really easy job. So we'll move this over a little bit, and I'm going to clean this surface off where the seals, oil filter seals on here. And I'll take the oil filter and take the protective cover off of it. I usually like to blow them out. And then we'll put a little bit of oil on the O-ring. And then we'll go ahead and install this. So now our oil filter's tight. It's like we're down to a drip, so we're good on the oil. And the good thing about this K&N filter is it takes a 17mm socket to put it on and off with, and that's the same size that the drain plug is. That makes it really handy. Alright, the book calls for 10W40 or 10W30 depending on the temperature, and we're putting in full synthetic Valvoline motorcycle oil, and it calls for 3.9 quarts. As you can see, I'm just a tad under 4, so this is going to be the proper amount of oil to put in it. Alright, so now we'll pull the dipstick out, clean it off. Take our cap off. Alright, so now we'll make her full. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start it up. Hopefully the battery's good enough. I need to replace the battery too. Yeah, it was slow starting. But we're going to check it and make sure it's not leaking. And it's looking good. There's no leaks. So I'm gonna let it run for probably 5 minutes, maybe 10, at least 5 minutes. And then I'll let it rest for 5 to 10 minutes, and then we'll check the oil again. All right, let's go ahead and check the oil level on the dipstick. See where we're at. It's been sitting for probably about 5-6 minutes. And it looks like it's almost up to the full mark. It's just a little below. Sometimes the angle that you put the dipstick in matters. See, it's just touching. When you set it straight in there, exactly straight in there, it's just touching the full mark. You don't want it overfilled. 3.9 quarts is what the manufacturer recommends. So that's what we put in it with a filter change. All right, I'm gonna leave the cover off of this because I think I still may have to do a little bit more work to the brakes. But we're done with the oil change for the engine. Well, the procedure I used for the rear brake bleeding that you just saw wasn't a complete process. My pedal was not a good, firm, solid pedal. So I went in and looked at the forums, and they gave me the correct procedure to use for the rear brake pedal in order to bleed it correctly. And it's kind of a big procedure because whenever you hit the pedal, not only does it engage the rear brake, but it engages the front brake. It's a linked brake system. The procedure is you have to bleed the left upper bleed screw first, and then you go to the right front lower bleed screw. Then you go to the rear lower bleed screw, and then you come back to the front and do the anti-dive valve bleed screw. And then you finish up on the rear upper bleed screw. It's kind of a big process. And on this bike, the upper bleed screw was plugged up. So I had to take it out and clean that port out because I wasn't getting any fluid out of it. And that was probably one of the biggest issues. It probably had a little bit of air, moisture and stuff in that. Well, the brake fluid was bad. That's one reason why I wanted to replace it. Not only that, didn't have a pedal, but after I got done, it's got a nice firm pedal, and it doesn't go down. It's not mushy. It's nice and firm. So anyway, I want to check the front this morning. I want to make sure that the fluid is good, and if it's not, I'm going to go ahead and change the front fluid. So I'm going to put this over it to protect it. And then I'm going to test the fluid. Take the cap off. Fortunately, these screws are coming out really easily. You guys that watch my channel know, like on some of the ATVs and stuff, how much of a struggle it was with those screws breaking off and stuff. This looks full. Trying to get this rubber off with the plastic. Oh. You gotta be careful with this brake fluid. That's why I laid a cover down. You don't want to get it on your paint. So I'll set that down there. And it has a little floaty thing in here. We got to get that out. Clean that off, and I'll set him right up there. Now you can see that fluid is not going to pass. It's pretty dirty. But we're going to go ahead and test it with our brake fluid tester anyway. And it's probably going to go all the way to the top, but let's check it. Yep. It's bad and needs replaced. So we'll go ahead and do that. All right, before we start bleeding this, I'm just going to suck this brake fluid out and get rid of it because I don't want to run all this rusty bad looking brake fluid through the system. Okay. There's the fluid. All right, now I'm just gonna clean this up a little bit. I'm gonna wipe this window off a little bit in here. I think the window's pretty clean, but I just want to make sure. Okay. Now, before we get started, I'm gonna go ahead and top off this brake fluid. Okay. All right, now I'm gonna have my wife pull the lever and we're gonna bleed it out. Okay.
Pull it and hold it?
Yeah, go ahead and just pull it. Ready?
Okay.
Okay, pump it up.
Pump it.
Okay, that's good. Hold it. Is it going down?
Yeah, it's all the way down.
Okay, pump it. Hold it.
Okay.
All right, you ready? Pump it up. Hold it.
Okay.
Pump it up. Hold it.
Okay.
Pump it up. Hold it.
Okay.
Well, we got quite a bit out of it. Probably 2 of the master cylinder levels full. Okay, now all I need to do is top it off. A little bit more. I think that's good. Then we'll put our floaty back in there. Okay, then we'll put our rubber and plastic back on. And then our cover, got to make sure you put it on the right direction. And our 2 screws. Tighten it down a little bit at a time. You don't want it too tight, but you want it good and snug, and that should be good. It's a pretty easy procedure, especially on the front. The rear is a little more involved. Sorry I didn't film it, but we got into it last night with my wife pumping the brake, and it took quite a while. It's just a boring process to watch, but as long as you know the procedure, it's pretty easy. All right, I think we're done with this blanket. Let's feel what the brake feels like. Oh yeah, brake's nice and firm, and got plenty of it. Rear brake's nice and firm. think we got it all whipped. We got all brand new fresh fluid in the front and rear, and the brakes I think are going to be functioning perfect now. So now I'm going to clean everything up. Any spillage I got from the brake fluid, I'm going to go ahead and put the fender and covers on and all that kind of stuff. It's just nut and bolt. There's nothing major about it. And then I'm going to probably do the battery install whenever it comes in. And then I'm pretty much done with the things I needed to do. Okay, the battery came in, so now it's time to finish up our job here. Take the panel off there. And this 8mm bracket, bolt on the bracket. Take that off. Okay. Then we have a 10mm. Take the negative off first. Put it off the side there. Okay, I'll take this little cover off. Wow. Oh, there it goes. Them bolts almost didn't go in. Okay. Now we'll see if we can get this battery out of here. I have a tight squeeze in there, but it fits. It's got a USAW. Oop, I just dropped the nut. Came out of it, I'll get it. It's a USAW made in USA battery. Now I didn't get a USAW replacement. There's a reason for that. The last couple I've got from them, the USAW batteries, hasn't been very good batteries. As a matter of fact, one of them that I got was completely dead. I tried charging it up, wouldn't charge up. So I tried to contact them, see about returning it. Wouldn't take a return, so I said, okay, well, I'll find something else from now on. So I've used these a couple of times. These are Motobat battery. These are good batteries, and it's a gel battery. It's sealed. You can put it in any position, and it should fit. Should be the same. I gotta make sure I put this in the right direction because you can put it in either way. That's a good thing about these batteries. Is it's negative on this side where it's supposed to be positive on this side. If you turn it around, you could use it on a different bike, and the positive on this side and the negatives on this side. So on this, you just got to make sure you get it put in correctly. And these come pre-charged. Well, that's a tight fit. Okay, I'm going to take these caps off. All right, it comes with a block that's already got screw threads in it, but I didn't see any bolts. So we'll reuse the old bolts. And we'll go ahead and attach the positive first. All right, that's good and tight. And these connections look good and clean, so I don't think there's any problems with the connections. Alright. So what I want to do next is I'm going to put a little bit of this Vaseline petroleum jelly. I like to just coat this a little bit. Stops it from corroding a little bit. At least slows the process down a little. And this battery has, I think it's 320 cold cranking amps. I believe that the battery that was stock in this has like 270. So this is a pretty healthy battery. And we want to make sure that it's pre-charged like they say that it's supposed to be. So we'll check it out. We'll put it on DC volts. And if it's a good battery, it should be around 12.65 if it's fully charged. Somewhere in that area. Okay, that's 12.88. That's really good. So I'm going to go ahead and start it up before I put the bracket on just to make sure everything's okay. And I'm going to check the charging voltage on it. It should be 14 to 14 point something. Alright. Well, that starts up much faster. .66, so that's good charging voltage. So we know the alternator's charging, we know the battery's good. So let's go ahead and finish putting this together. Oh, there's the bolts for the battery. Didn't even see them. Ah, well, those bolts screwed right in, so no problem. I'll just save them for the next one. So we'll go ahead and put our shield back on it. It just pops in. And we'll line our bracket up. I'll put my bolt in my socket, make it a little bit easier to line up. Fortunately, on these bolts, they give you a washer head on the bolt, so it stays in the socket well, so you don't have to worry about it. There we go, good and tight. That's in there the way it's supposed to be, and I think we're going to be good. So we'll just put the cover back on. All right. Before we close shop on this, let me check this old battery just to see what the resting voltage is. This doesn't really tell a lot, but I'm curious. I just want to see what it is, because this one was pretty bad. 12.14. And I've also got one of these battery energy meters that'll show you how much actual energy is in the battery. So we'll hook it up and we'll check and see what that is. Wow. It's only got 30% energy in it. It's been charging and stuff, so this battery's bad. I don't know how old the battery is, but this one's no good. All right, that's going to wrap it up for the 2008 Honda Goldwing GL1800. To recap everything that I've done, I replaced the rear brake pads. I bled the system out and replaced all the fluid, so we got nice fresh fluid. The front end, I just bled the system out and put fresh fluid in it and got it all nice and clean as well. Brakes are working fantastic. He wanted the throttle. The tube on it was slipping. Excuse me. The grip was slipping on the tube on the throttle, so I glued that on. Let me show you what I used. You know, they make all kinds of grip glue and stuff, but this is what I used occasionally. I put it on my Honda Shadow recently to glue my grips on, and this seems to hold really well. And the good thing about this is you don't use it just on grips. You can use it on headliners and panels and just different things. It's kind of nice to have around because it's pretty strong glue. Anyway, after I got that done, he wanted this cup holder. He had a bolt missing, and I replaced that. I changed the oil and the filter. What else did I do? Oh, replaced the battery, of course. So it's pretty much up to par now. I'm going to go ahead and probably do a riding video on it before I give it back to him, and give you my thoughts on this bike, because I've never ridden a GL1800. I had a GL1500, as you may know, but I've never even rode an 1800. This is my first time actually working on this bike, and it's really interesting, because these are a little bit more advanced in some areas, and they're a little bit more difficult at things to work on. They're not bad, but you just have to know the methods, like with the brake system, on how to bleed the brakes and all that kind of stuff. But they're a fun bike, I'm sure. So I'm just kind of looking forward to going for a ride on it just to see. And I got to check it all out, make sure the brakes are working and everything's fine before he takes it back. So anyway, that's all I have for you today. I appreciate you coming along through all this and watching. And look for that next riding video on this. All right. Like the video if you like it. Give me a thumbs up and leave me a comment. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't. I'm not going to have a lot more 1800 content right now. I may in the future. Never know, I may get one. There's a blue one I got my eye on. But anyway, that's all I have for today. Thanks for watching.